Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Apache Junction Area Chamber of Commerce's 2026 Candidates in Conversation. I'm Mary Ann Shabilsky. I'm the President and CEO of the Apache Junction Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like to thank each of you for joining us this evening for this relaxed fireside chat event. It's going to be a lot of fun. So tonight is not about debate. It is about meaningful conversation focused on the issues that matter most to Apache Junction in our community. This event is jointly presented as a community service by the Apache Junction Area Chamber of Commerce and our presenting sponsor, Salt River Project. We are grateful to SRP for their continued support of the Chamber, our local businesses, and the Apache Junction community. Without their partnership, tonight's event would not be possible. We would also like to thank Central Arizona College for hosting tonight's event and for recording the program, which will be available on the Chamber's YouTube channel following the event. And finally, thank you to our candidates for being here tonight and for your willingness to serve our community and discuss those issues important to the residents in our community. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce tonight's sponsor representative, Madeline Phipps, Senior Local Government Affairs Representative for SRP, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. All who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Welcome, everyone. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Like Mary Ann said, I'm Madeline. I work for Salt River Project, and I also have the privilege of working with a lot of our East Valley cities, including Apache Junction. You might know that SRP is a not-for-profit utility company. We provide reliable and affordable water and power to more than 2 million customers in Maricopa and Pinal counties. We've been fortunate to have a long-standing partnership with the City of Apache Junction and with the Chamber. And we're very proud to sponsor events like the one tonight, especially allowing Chamber members and the community to hear directly from candidates about their priorities for their city. A core value of SRP's culture is our belief in supporting engagements like this that provide these candidates an opportunity to participate in the civil discourse. Thank you all for your willingness to be here and to share with us. I know we're all looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Thank you, Mary Ann, and for your team at the Chamber also for putting this on. Thank you all.
Thank you, Madeline. Now it is my privilege to introduce our moderator for tonight's event. Ward Nichols is a successful business entrepreneur who has owned and operated small businesses for over 30 years. He also served 4 terms in the Arizona House of Representatives. Now at Arizona State University, Ward works closely with various business and civic organizations throughout the East Valley and Pinal County and acts as the liaison with state and local governments. He is a lifelong learner and loves learning and growing with his work at ASU. He volunteers at his local church and serves as a reserve EMT firefighter when needed in rural Arizona. Ward is a 5th-generation Arizona native who grew up in the East Valley and currently lives in Queen Creek with his wife Paula and their children. Please welcome Ward Nichols.
Thanks, Mary Ann. So we are super excited to have everybody here tonight for this Candidates in Conversation. Mary Ann gave me kind of a script, which is good because sometimes I can get off track a little bit, and just a little bit, right? But I do have to show this off before we get going. No, I'm not going to show you my leg, but I wore my AJ socks tonight. I actually have them on all day. Proud to be in Apache Junction this evening. What a beautiful evening we have to share together. So. I'll get back on script here. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I would like to thank all the candidates for joining us tonight. It's a tough environment that we live in, being a candidate and being an elected official. And from the bottom of my heart and the communities, thank you for your public service, because there's a lot of people on the sidelines that can bellyache about it. but don't want to get in front of things to serve. And so thank you for making the time, and your families that allow you to serve. Thank you for doing that. We do appreciate it. This event is hosted by the Apache Junction Area Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is a nonpartisan organization committed to informing and engaging our community. And tonight is all about giving you the opportunity to get to know the people on the ballot, not just the names. Rather than a formal debate, we wanted to have a conversational discussion. We will touch on important issues facing Apache Junction, while also giving you insight into each candidate's perspective and personality. And before I move on, I do see two of our incumbent council members in the audience, Peter and Bambi. Why don't you just stand up and wave your hands real quick? I do appreciate you being here. And again, thank you for your service to the community. Yeah. So, okay, I wouldn't be a good ASU representative if I didn't have an ASU joke to tell you tonight. So you'll probably get it. It's a real easy one. But what does ASU and the farming industry have in common? We both love pitchforks. All right. Yes, a horrible dad joke, right? So. All right. Mary Ann already mentioned it. We are recording this tonight, and it's going to be up on the Chamber website, YouTube channel. And so as we go through the conversation, just a reminder to the crowd, let's keep applause down so we can get through as many questions and things as we can, and then... Hey, right? Okay. Positive thinking. Sure, right? Positive thinking. So anyway, all right. So I would like to begin by introducing our candidates. I will ask each of you to briefly introduce yourself. Please share your name and what inspired you to run or run again for public office. And try to keep it to maybe about a minute each, and then we'll jump into the questions. So would you like to lead us off, Vice Mayor?
Sure. My name is Robert Schroeder. I'm the Vice Mayor of the City of Apache Junction. I'm in the last year of my 8-year terms. I got into the city about 2012 is when I started. Ran in a couple elections, lost them. That's okay. It taught me how to run an election, how to run a campaign. I was encouraged many times by the existing council and the people that were making decisions to join a board. So I did. I joined the Planning and Zoning Board. I spent 3 years there. Got reappointed to the board, and in the middle of that term, I ran for the 3rd time and got elected as your city councilman. When I was elected as city councilman, I was assigned to CAG, Central Arizona Government, and during my tenure in CAG, now I'm in my 8th year at CAG, I'm the Secretary Treasurer of CAG now. PARTA, the Pinal Regional Transportation Authority, was stem off of CAG. Now the county took it over, but at the time CAG had it, and I was sat on the board there. So when the county did take it over, they just brought the CAG board with them. So I currently do still sit on the Pinal Regional Transportation Authority. I was serving as a vice mayor now for 2 of my terms, and I figured natural progression. I wanted to maintain in the city. I wanted to maintain the things that we have made decisions on. I wanted to see things through. And as you know, that sometimes government is slow, right? So we start a project and it could be out of our terms before we see the completion of this project. So I wanted to at least stay to see a lot of these things come around. And that's why I'm running for the mayor of Apache Junction today.
Thank you. Sandy?
I'm Sandy Michaelin. I need to follow that. Okay. So I'm a newbie. The reason why I got involved is Apache Junction matters to me. I love my city. And I started to see things and have questions, and so I started attending city council. I'm at every city council. My chair is right in the back on the right-hand side. After probably about 2 years of that, I took the leadership training class, and that was a really good indication of how the city runs and so many things that I was just not aware of. So I was appointed to the Planning and Zoning and also Health and Human Services Board, which I'm currently on in my 2nd year. And again, a natural progression. There were just things going on, and this is definitely serving. I mean, city council, these people work hard, and there's a lot of hours. And so I had to kind of weigh, do I have time for that? Do I want to do that? And so it was kind of a question there for a little bit and what I was going to decide to do. And I made the decision to jump in. So I've been running since we pulled our packet in the papers. Still in planning and zoning, really enjoy that. It's just giving me a lot of information that will help even more when I'm at City Council.
Thank you. Mr. Crow.
I'm Councilmember Darrell Cross, and I'm running for re-election. I too started off with, ran for election and missed by, I don't know, it was like 50, 60 votes the first time out. And immediately I applied for planning and zoning, got on with planning and zoning, and really learned a lot about our city, how it works, and basically got into the direction that this city wants to progress. And the main reason why I wanted to get into the political aspects of our community or serve our community, helping out our fellow citizens, protecting our horse rights. I'm a born again, I guess, Western type individual that I missed my century by 100 years. I'd still be great with just a horse and buggy type town. But that being said, I, like others have said, watch this town slowly grow, but trying to protect that small town feel is definitely a goal, I think, of all of ours. And we know that it's going to grow. Do we want 5, 6-story buildings, or do we want 1, 2, 3-story at the most? And I think if we come up with a balance, we'll get there. There's nothing we could do to stop the growth that is going to hit Apache Junction. We're part of a huge metropolitan valley, and it's here. So what we can do is protect what we enjoy and love, and kind of funnel that growth in a way that we can all appreciate and enjoy. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm here. I just love this city. I've been here since 2004, and I still want to continue to serve everybody and help wherever I can. So I'm just a phone call away. Thank you.
I'm Brian Solar from a small town, country boy. Became a police officer, been public servant for 37 years. I'm a police lieutenant in Mesa. Moved to Apache Junction because Mesa at the time was a smaller city, small town attitude, and it's now a big city. And I like the small town, so I moved to Apache Junction, and then I decided to run for council. And I ran for council so I could have input and do the will of the people. And the biggest challenge we have in Apache Junction is we do have a lot of new growth. And again, I believe in keeping our history and the horse community, but also reasonable growth. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish as a council member, to ensure we have reasonable growth and we grow Apache Junction the way we want it, keeping our history and the horse community protected, but also growing our city. It's been an honor and a privilege for the last over 3 years to be an Apache Junction council member, and I did run again because I'm just like Vice Mayor said, I like to see projects through, and we have some really unique projects going on. We have 10 acres right at our focal point that we as a council bought so we can control it, and we would like to have a really nice downtown area eventually. So we're working on a lot of different projects, and I'd like to see those through. And I'm a person that believes in the will of the people. We have a 2024 downtown strategic plan, and that plan was voted on by the public with a 3-to-1 vote in favor of our downtown plan. And I believe in doing the will of the people. And part of that was bringing in some more apartments into the downtown area, mostly to help our restaurants and our businesses. As you know, after the snowbirds leave, 65 to 70% of their business goes away. And it's really hard to maintain employees and cover costs. So we're working hard on the downtown plan, and I agree with that. The voters agreed with it. So that's another reason why I'm running, is sure that we try to really do a good job of maintaining what we paid for and got voted on for the downtown plan.
Okay, thank you. So let's move on in our conversation and talk about some topics, obviously, that are important to the community. And we'll start with you, Sandy, on the first question, if that's okay.
Of course.
And then we'll just keep rotating through on the
Let me see which
questions.
one you're going to ask.
Yeah.
You want me to jump ahead and get to you there so you can see it?
Let me see the one I want you to ask.
give you a cherry pick, right? Yeah.
No, I'm
Somebody's
confident.
trying to give me the hard one.
So, but anyway, so Sandy, what do you believe is the most important role of an elected official or council member in Apache Junction?
Most important role. To touch base with what Brian said, I think it's really important to the will of the people. When I've been out having petitions signed and talking to folks, they have real strong views of how they want to see our city grow. So I think as an elected official, number one, it's to listen to what they say, and then also, like on planning and zoning, they're a packet of paper that we get. So you go through and detail to detail to detail, and then be able to present that also to the public to say, okay, so I understand what you're saying, but I think it's really important that you also understand this is how our growth is. And that's going to be a real challenging thing for us in the future, is our growth.
Okay, thank you.
Bob, great answer.
Thank you.
So,
First out of the box, you know.
we are the front line for our community. You know, we get people calling us all the time saying, hey, I've got a problem with this, can you help me out? And that's our number one job. That's what we're here to do, is be that voice for our citizens, our constituents that, you know, may be having issues with it, whether it be a neighbor, whether it be a code enforcement issue. There's all different ways that we can step in and try to help or get them on the right path. But, you know, back to our, you know, what is our number one job? You know, we get packets of information, and it's our job to sit down, take the time, read through all the information that's being presented, that the developer is trying to bring across, or that the city manager is trying to budget for. And you know, we're here to make sure that the city doesn't overspend and that they stay on budget, but at the same time, you know, we want to make sure that our police officers have all the tools that they need to keep us safe. We want to make sure that our city grows in a reasonable and responsible way, so that, you know, it doesn't just go berserk like some of the other cities in the Tri-City area of Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert. I mean, there's just buildings all over the place. And I think the way we're set up, we're in kind of a unique situation to where we can really put the brakes on and say, okay, you know, we want this growth to come here, but we don't want it to be just the same as everybody else in downtown Tempe. You know, that's not the type of look we want. We want to try and stick with a more of a Western look, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Hence the cowboy hat.
Again, will of the people is number one. We're elected by the people to do the will of the people. And I believe in doing the will of the majority of the people. You are always going to have your naysayers out there, and they're the loudest and the most vocal, and people think that they are the majority. They are usually not. It's usually the people behind the scenes that voted for us, and they let us know, they talk to us about what's important to them. So will of the people is the number one job of a city council person or the mayor. Along with that, it is being financially responsible and ensuring that our city does things financially responsibly, and that we ensure that the projects that are going in are good projects, are going to our core goals, like I said, the downtown master plan and the new growth down south. So those are the things that are really important for city council, and again, it's all about the will of the people.
Okay, so election room is a great place for an echo chamber, because you're going to get a lot of that tonight, I think. But yes, the nucleus of the job is the will of the people. Some of the things that I like to to address is that you want to make sure that the city of Apache Junction, the city government, is a government for the people and by the people. And sometimes city staff, and they do a fantastic job, but sometimes they go out on limbs. You know, we got to say, hey, no, we got to make sure this goes through this process. And really, it's to complete the job that we were asked to do. So, for example, I am not taking over as mayor, being an unopposed incumbent. I am filling a temporary position that the voters put me in. And if I don't respect that, and I don't think that I am untouchable, you know what I'm saying? If I believe that no matter at any given time, oh, okay, we're winning. No, it's the people that make that decision. And I have to respect the fact that I'm only there temporarily. I am filling a position for the voters temporarily. And I got to do my best at that job to make sure it gets done correctly.
Okay, thank you. As all of you have been talking, I've heard a lot of growth and development, right, in the area. So let's talk about growth and development real quick, and understanding that to be successful moving forward, we are standing on the shoulders of those that came before us. So honoring that history and I've heard that talked about, but also moving forward and making the best of what's coming and what's going to happen, right? So we'll start off with you, Daryl, on this first question, if that's okay. So Apache Junction is continuing to grow. What does responsible growth look like to you, and how should the city guide development moving forward?
Great question. One of the ways that the city, and a lot of regular folks just don't see the behind the scenes things that occur. Like when we have meetings with the developer, or we have meetings with development services, and says, you know, hey, this contractor wants to put in a 6-story building, apartment complex, and we're going, oh, wait a minute. Well, it's zoned for that. No, wait a minute. Just because it's zoned for it doesn't mean we should. You know, and hence that's why we bought the downtown core that we have right now. Is because that developer wanted to put in a monstrous building that nobody wanted. So we made him an offer he couldn't refuse. You know, we went ahead and took control of our future downtown. So what's the other part of that?
So the other part is, how should the city guide development moving forward?
So how do we guide that? You know, one, you know, working with developers and saying, you know, that they've got a bottom line. They need to meet quotas. They need to meet financial what their shareholders need, right? So they come to us and say, hey, we want to build this project. Okay, what we can do is we can guide them and help them come up with a project that everybody can appreciate for the most part. I mean, there's always going to be those people that just say, hey, no way, unless it's a one-room, poop house where we don't want it. You know, and that's just the fact of life. You know, there's people that here in our community that absolutely do not want to see any growth whatsoever, but that's not realistic. And so, you know, we can sit there and go to that developer and said, you know, instead of doing 3 stories, all 3 stories, and having it right up against the road, so when you're driving by, it's like, oh my God, that thing's huge. No, we get them to try and maybe put 1 and 2 story and as far away from the road as possible, put the parking along the edge of the road, and put those buildings back further. You know, it's all perspective. The building's not near as big if it's 100 yards away. So that's kind of the things that we're doing right now in trying to, you know, make AJ a better place as we grow, and you know, that growth will definitely help our, like Brian said earlier, our small businesses. They've been hurting for years and years and years. I mean, I can remember when I first moved here, so many businesses closed for the summer because there wasn't enough people to support it. And as our growth comes in, we'll be able to have that support that those businesses need to stay open year round.
There's 2 types of growth in Apache Junction right now. There's the growth up here in the old town, and that is the downtown plan. That's bringing in some more apartment buildings, getting more people into the downtown area, getting somebody to develop the 10 acres that we bought to make a walking downtown restaurant store type area to draw people into our downtown area, to have more people coming in, spending their money here. And down south, there's a totally separate type of growth. Those are new housing plans. They're both beautiful. We did a really good job of getting good developers, and those are really, really beautiful homes. Everybody that moves in down there loves that area. They got great parks. We made sure that our parks, the developer built the parks, our Parks and Rec run the parks. We have now a fishing lake. We're going to have 2 fishing lakes. And the idea is to tie in the people south of 60 to the people north of 60, and we share parks and resources, downtown area. So it's a lot about reasonable growth and making sure we have the right developers with the right projects to bring them in here. And that's a daunting task. And you talk and you got to make sure, because developers will tell you everything you want to hear. You got to get through all that and find out exactly what it is and how many people. And I can tell you, we shut one down right there behind Fry's because they wanted to put in, we let 2 apartment complexes go in there. They wanted to put in a 3rd, but the only active street is Junction Street, and it has a stop sign. We don't own SR 88. That is a state route. We can't do anything with that road. And I was adamant, we can't put that many people using one road to get in and out. It would cause chaos. So we kind of put the kibosh on that one for now, and we're in the process of working with the state to get SR 88, and that will open up a whole new world for us, because we can put in lights or crosswalks or whatever we need to do. Right now we don't have that option. So it's really unique. You got Old Town, and we're trying to save the history, but we have to bring in some more people and some more apartments. That was part of the downtown plan that was voted on. And down south, and we have a lot more land down there to be reasonable. And the key here is water. And the nice thing is, councils, well before we come aboard, did a great job of securing water rights. And Apache Junction is doing very well with water. Everybody seems to think, oh, you put something up, we're going to run out of water. We have plenty of water. And that is because of the councils well before us took the initiatives and bought water rights. And at the time, everybody thought they were nuts. And now we're reaping the benefits of it. So,
True.
yep.
Absolutely true.
So while I agree with, as far as being in the trenches with the developers and the logistics involved and everything that comes with it, I think the more accurate way I want to describe that question is responsible growth, or balanced growth. So Apache Junction is a pretty unique place. It's growing tremendously, but like Councilman Solar said, don't want to lose the identity of what Apache Junction made Apache Junction. You have urban living going down south at a tremendous rate, and then you have the rural living coming up north, and it all kind of meets in the middle. And what we have to do, and things that we have done, we have, like for example, we purchased the rodeo grounds. So we're balancing. We're saying, look, we're not forgetting about the rural lifestyle living out here. We want to embrace it. We want to bring it to the forefront. And at the same time, we're building extravagant parks down south with lakes and fishing and everything like that. So it's more about how to balance these situations between the Apache Junction of the old days with the wagons and the horses, and Apache Junction of the new days with the more urban living. And I think so far we're doing a fantastic job of that. And we have a lot to confront while we have that acreage of land, that 10 acres, that we need to be very, very careful on what we put in there. And that's one of the reasons why we bought it, because as anybody knows, a lot of these things are not even in the council's hands, the property rights. You have a developer that owns a piece of property that is zoned for what he wants to put in. It won't even come across our desk. We won't have that decision to be made. So one way to fight that is when you have an area in our downtown, like we do, with a piece of land for sale, we go after it. So then we can control it. We can say, sure, we'll sell it, but this is what we want to have happen here. So those are some of the things that we're doing. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of it. And again, this is like one of the projects that we were talking about earlier today, want to see through. There's going to be 10, 11,000 homes down south by the time it's done. I like to see that done. I like to see the sun done, ribbon cutting. I want, and all the things that we have in our future that we want to see. I want to see that land sold. I want to see us have ideas through public, through staff, through our own. And I will say this, one of the things that really help responsible growth is every single one of these guys, every one of them, they're all very, very independent thinkers. So it's not like we jump into a room and it's just, yep. We discuss, everybody has their input, and we dissect it, and we talk about it, and we come to a decision. And that's where responsible comes in. That's where everybody on the council has a voice. And I have worked, in the years I've been on council, I have worked with Evans, Barker, Sturdy, Struble, I know the Wilson, well, of course, Wilson, and this, what you guys are seeing today, well, I'm quite sure Sandy will be a fine addition.
Thank you.
Is probably the most cohesive council I have ever worked with. It is, Councilman Cross will come in, hey, what about this, guys? And we'll have a discussion about an idea. Or Johnson or Solar, they come in, hey, I'd like to see Veterans Memorial Park. I like to see it being utilized. I like to see it pop and go up. See, those are the things that this council brings to the city of Apache Junction. And in my opinion, so far so good.
Last but not least, okay.
Yeah.
So I look forward to working with all of you. But I think maybe a little background. There's been so many projects that have come out that people got like overloaded. There's just so many, project after project after project. But we need growth and responsible growth. So the process, it goes through planning and zoning for the city, and they fine tune what they want and make the developers do the things that they want to do. Then it comes to the planning and zoning, me, and the rest of the commission, and then we fine tune it, and then it goes to the city council. So it is responsible growth because there's nobody making a quick, fast decision. I mean, it goes through a long process.
Okay, very good. Thank you all for those answers. Somebody brought up water.
Yes.
And we wanted to talk a little bit about water tonight, but just so we all understand, we are in Arizona, so whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting, right? And so, and sometimes you got to get in and get dirty when it comes to water, right? To make sure that we have everything we need. So, Mr. Solar, we'll start with you. So, how should Apache Junction continue to plan for long-term water sustainability while talking about the growth that's going to happen in the South, right? In those 10,000 or so, 11,000 homes. How does Apache Junction balance that? How does that work?
Well, Apache Junction has several things going. The Bartlett Dam project right now is going, and we are part of that. They're going to raise the dam, add more water. That's going to help us. We get a portion of that. They're talking about an interchange down at Power Road in the Salt River, where the Verde and Salt River can be, right now you can't transfer one to the other. They're going to be putting in a transfer station that you can do that. There's some logistics of both rivers have different type of things in them. You got to filter, but they're working on that project. We continually, the new homes down south are all really water wise homes. There's very, very few landscaping things where there's water. The showers, the toilets are all low flow. So we planned that in the plans to make sure that all the new builds are using water wisely. Also, all the contracts we have and all the water rights we have, we guard those very judiciously, and our water department does an excellent job. They put in wells, they make sure our wells are running right. We try to maintain a low use of water, and we are doing a very good job of it in Apache Junction. And that saves everybody, because the more you can save on water usage, the more water you have. So right now we're doing really well, and a new build's going in, we're ensuring that they're water wise. So that's what we're doing as a council.
Okay. Vice Mayor.
Okay, so as Brian was saying with the Bartlett Dam, We're also in the project for a weak wash retention. What that will do is that when we have our monsoons, so we don't flood the city, basically, but we'll be able to capture some of that water in one shape or form. And it's really, the way the water is managed is the key. And one of the things that we have to do as a city council is we also have to put trust into our water department. We have now, Apache Junction has 2 water departments, Arizona Water and AJ Water. We have no say on Arizona Water at all. Of course we work with them, we have IGAs with them, and they work with us, but at the end of the day, the council does not control that entity at all. In Apache Junction Water, we have a tremendous man that is the head of that department, and between him and his staff of other men and women, they know what they're doing. And once a month, we have a water board meeting before the council meetings. That's usually at 6 p.m. I recommend anybody to go to these if you want to know about Apache Junction's water and their resources and where we're at. And they give us these, because we all sit on the board of that. And they do a fantastic job. And you know, sometimes as much as being an elected official and a candidate, you want to get in there and shake things up. These are very professional people working on our water, and they take it very, very seriously. And sometimes you just got to let them do their job.
I don't have anything to add to that.
Ditto?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
So there's a lot that goes on with our water that people just do not understand or have a clue. You know, we talked about the interchange, it's called the skiff, where dirty water comes into the CAP canal. You know, we know that CAP is going to get cut this summer, and there's nothing we can do about it. But because of our previous council, Mayor Wilson, he talks about this all the time. You know, 15 years ago, roughly, we had the opportunity to buy, I don't remember, I think it's 720 acre feet of Gila Indian Reservation water. And it was going to cost like 2.3 million. And it's like, do we need this water? And the answer was no, we don't need it at that time. Not even close to needing it. And now we're just so thankful we have it, because that same amount of water would be in excess of $23 million for that same amount of water. We take water all the time and pump it back into the ground. All of our excess water goes back into the ground as credits. And water right now is almost like a commodity traded on the New York Stock Exchange. It's that important. And so, as Vice Mayor mentioned, as Councilman Solar mentioned, there's ways that we've preserved our ability to store water. If they turned off the CAP water, we have absolutely none of it today. We are set and good for another 100 years. The water in the CAP is all we're using right now. We're not using any of our well water. We're putting in a 23-inch diameter well right now down by Blossom Rock. When they've already hit the water, and they determined that thing will produce, I don't remember how many millions of gallons of water a minute. It is an extremely good source. So, you know, as Vice Mayor stated, we got to trust the people that know what our water is and how it's stored and provided for us. They're the ones that have the brains and knowledge, and thank God, because there's so much more to it that we just don't see, but you know, we have the right people managing it for us.
Very good. Sounds like Apache Junction's in good shape and in good hands. So
Very good hands.
Thank you. Let's talk about local economy. Several of you have already mentioned local economy and where that's going. So, Vice Mayor, this is the lead-off question for you. So, what are your ideas for supporting small business while also attracting new opportunities to Apache Junction?
Well, we should open up a Chamber of Commerce.
Great
Oh, wait,
idea.
we did.
For real though. So I get the question a lot, and I started to think about it a little bit more often. You know, there are many things for small businesses to do. For example, you know, when a small business wants to expand, or they even want to just come in, you know, there is a lot of red tape involved when it comes to the development services portion of the city, because, you know, a lot of our buildings are old and they need serious work, and the city doesn't want to take any chances of putting someone in an unsafe building, right? So it gets a little difficult. But some of the things that we could do is affect some of the policies and the codes and set. We could go back and change them if we feel like it. But ultimately, I would say, you know, eat and shop locally. I get a lot of things. Oh, where's my Chili's? You know, we want a place to go. It's like, well, Applebee's. It's like, well, what do you want a national chain? We've got some of the greatest restaurants in the valley here in Apache Junction. Palladino's is fantastic. Lost Dutchman's is really good. Maggie's Lounge is good. Mickey D's, I see that place packed all the time. You would never know it. Try hitting these places first. I mean, if you want commercialized atmosphere, it's right down the street. But I would strongly suggest to check out what Apache Junction has to offer first, because those restaurants we have here, even the Rusty Buckle, more of a bar grill place, but the food is fantastic, and it's served up, and it's you get what you pay for, and it's really, really good. So, you know, as far as our economy goes, we are a sales tax run city. You know, you don't need the Applebee's to be a success in a commercial atmosphere. All you need is the people, regular mom and pops that come in here and give us a place like Palladino's, and give us a place like the Hitching Post. I mean, that place has been around for a long time. It has expanded. It's got a solid menu. It provides entertainment. Where are you going to find that? Anywhere else in this valley, unless you start going really west, like Cave Creek or something. Mason, you're not going to find it. You're going to find the strip mall. You're going to find a pad out front. That's what you're going to find. But out here, you're going to find many places that really scream for, hey, come to spend your money here. And that's one of the ways we can really boost our economic development here at Apache Junction.
Okay. We're going to get to the same question, but we're going to do a quick speed round. You mentioned Palladino's.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite place to eat in Apache Junction? I know, it's hard to pick one.
Yeah, that's so unfair. I can't answer that.
Okay.
There's many.
Top two.
Top two. Rusty Buckle.
Okay.
And I'm going to be alienating business owners now. Don't
That's
do this
all right.
to me.
That's all right.
Palladino's.
Palladino's. Okay.
Hitching Post,
You have to say that.
because, I mean,
Yeah,
who
because I
doesn't-
didn't say
who
it.
doesn't like
Yeah, right.
bull riding, but I can ride the horse over there and just really enjoy it.
Okay.
And now that the Dutchman barbecue is up and running, riding the horse over there, fantastic. Truly, all of our mom and pop shop restaurants are fantastic.
That's the right answer.
You know,
No. Yeah.
fresh pressed burgers. God,
Okay.
best burgers
Come
in
on. Come on.
town.
So
I said two. Come on. I know we can keep going.
The other bar, Palladino's.
Okay. Very good.
Oh, I
And
didn't
do
say
you have a
that.
second? I know you mentioned several, but I think Palladino's.
QT's not bad. I do.
You the grilled cheese sandwich?
For all.
Hey,
In
don't
all
knock those
seriousness,
sandwiches, they're good.
I
National
was
chain, buddy.
actually, I had lunch at the Lotus Garden today, so that's
Okay.
a
That's
great
really
place
good
to eat too.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. Sorry. We'll get back on track. I let the wheels come off the bus there. Real quick.
Good.
So I'll repeat the question for you.
Please.
What are your ideas for supporting small businesses while also attracting new opportunities to Apache Junction?
Okay, so the challenge is what we all face all the time is you have to have more rooftops, you have to have more homes, you have to have more people, so that's sustainable for our small businesses. The rub with that is a lot of people are very concerned about how fast we grow. So it's kind of it's not easy. It's just not easy. It's like a case by case. And I know they have talked previously about fees and so forth and structures for businesses when they're redoing or whatever, and there's fees and so forth. But again, we are tax revenue. We don't have any property tax here, and we don't want property tax here. So we just have to be really careful how we do that. It's not easy.
I love hearing how you said it's a case by case, because it really is, right? That there is no two businesses that are going to operate exactly the same way and have the exact same needs. So it is a case by case business on what you can create as a business environment for them. Councilmember.
Our mom and pop shops are the backbone of America. You know, we should do everything we can to help support our mom and pop shops. somehow get with development services, make the process for expansion and or additions, streamline it, make it more readily easy and fast for a small business to either do an expansion or a remodel. Try and get development services to make things, very quick and fast. I mean, the big developments that come in, those guys got all kinds of lawyers and stuff, and they've done this all over the country per se, and boom, 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 they're all their ducks in a row. Where our small businesses, they need to be held by the hand and walk through it and helped the whole process through. And over the last couple of years, between Mr. Solar and Vice Mayor, we've gotten the development services to understand that that is what our businesses need and want. So by helping development services understand what they need, it makes the whole process so much faster. Is it perfect? No, not yet. We're still working on it. But hopefully down the road, we'll have it set up to where you come to our town and you want to open up a small business, it'll be quick, painless, and get you up and running as quick as we possibly can. It shouldn't take 2 years. It should only take a year, less than a year to get your permit. And hopefully your builder can get you out of the ground and up and running in a year. So, I mean, we hit hiccups all the time, and hopefully we learn from them hiccups and get them corrected. So, in order to get support for our small businesses, we need to grow our permanent residents. And that's the other big part of this equation. Without permanent residents supporting that growth, it's not going to happen. And like I said before, businesses used to close down all summer long. We don't want that. We want them to stay open. We want them to be successful.
So, as a member of the Chamber Board, I love hearing you say those things, because Apache Junction's got a great business environment right now, but it can always be fine-tuned, right, made better, and cut through some of that red tape to help businesses, help them become successful faster, so they're not having to spend money trying to even get open. So, Councilman.
The Chamber, one of the biggest tools we have. They do an excellent job of reaching out and getting the information out about Apache Junction and trying to help us bring in the mom and pops and the people that want to open small businesses. Everybody on this council, the council members back there, we all believe in small business and small business owners. This council has streamlined, just what Councilman Cross says, we have streamlined with the city, and we continue to try to streamline. When somebody wants to open a small business, now they got a place to go, and it pretty much tells them what they need to do in order. So it makes it a little faster. We can get better, we can do better. The red tape, we're trying to cut that out the best we can for small business owners. But working with the Chamber, having the small business, reaching out to them, getting more people, that's a big thing, having permanent residents. I was never so proud when we were talking about putting an apartment complex, and all the small businesses came to the council meeting and they said, we need help. We lose 65 to 70% of our business, and it kills them. You have to let people go, and then that's trained employees, and next year you have to try to find them, or if you can't find them, train another employee and bring them on. It's an endless cycle. So that's what the council is really working on, mostly for small businesses and people that want to be entrepreneurs and open something up. We are here for you, and we are willing to really help you the best we can. And if council finds a problem, we'll go up and deal with the city and try to get it fixed and try to get those issues streamlined so we can make small businesses more productive and get them up and running quicker.
Okay, very good, thank you. As I kind of suspected, we're having a great conversation, and I just looked at my watch, and we're like 5 minutes away from supposed to be wrapping this up. But Marianne, can we have like an extra 3 to 5 minutes, just because we started just slightly a little bit late? Is that okay with everybody? That way we can maybe at least get through like 2 more questions, because I've got one more question that we wanted to ask you, and then we did have a question sent in from somebody that couldn't be here tonight that wanted to watch when we posted it, and we thought it was a great question. So I want to get to that one as well. So, okay, so we're back to you, Ms. Mike.
Of course, please start.
Yes. So
Thank
we're going to transition to, as the city grows, infrastructure becomes increasingly important. And I won't say the name to protect the guilty, but there's a couple of cities in the East Valley that haven't taken care of their infrastructure during their boom and during their growth, and now their citizens are being hit heavily in different fees and taxes and stuff because of that. How can Apache Junction, as you're growing, how can you balance that to make sure that the growth is good, but the infrastructure that's here is also taken care of? Because there's only so much money to go around.
All right, well, they're definitely going to expand on my shorter answer. But in the planning and zoning, when we take a look at a development, traffic is a big deal. I mean, the traffic reports are like this. So as you go through those, first step, I would say that you do not put something in a place where you don't have the infrastructure. As to the long-term growth of that, they're going to be able to speak better to that. I'll get up to speed when I get on council.
Sure.
But
Okay.
I would say, as we're planning and zoning, we have to be really, really careful where we put different structures, where we put different developments, because some of our streets are very narrow and small.
Thank you. Councilor?
So one of the ways we watch out for our infrastructure is through the economic development fees. When a new business opens up, whether they're open or whether they're putting a whole new separate building in, they have to pay an economic development fee. And you know, on a huge project, that could be over $1 million, and it is over $1 million. That money goes back into our infrastructure, whether it be roads, whether it be sewers, whether it be water. Currently, we're in the process of increasing rates slightly, water being one of them, sewer being another. That there is being responsible and passing, you know, not having customers get sticker shock like one East Valley city is, you know, they're talking what, a 40% increase in their water or city services because they didn't plan for that growth in the future. Apache Junction is planning for that growth, and we're putting money aside, we're collecting monies to help shore up and keep our infrastructure very good and sound.
Yeah, real quick, our water department, we talked about it before. We have approved a lot of infrastructure problems that they foresee in the future. We're already dealing with them. They've gotten funding for fixing wells and fixing equipment, getting new equipment. On the city level, same thing. We're always trying to make sure that our roads and our lights and all the other things that go along with the city, we have a plan to deal with them before they become problems. So Apache Junction is doing really well. This council really does a good job of staying on top of that and ensuring that we get the funding for those infrastructure issues before they become problems. And I'm really, really proud how well we're doing with that. We're not having major things, you know, and if something does come up, we get on it very quickly. We got a project going in to replace a water line at Tomahawk from Southern to 60. And that's because it's old and it needs replaced. We're going to do it before it breaks and ruptures. So really, really pleased with how well as a council we are, and as a city, staying on top of infrastructure problems.
Vice Mayor?
So there's a catchphrase. Development pays for infrastructure. Ironwood Road down south, Brookfield, D.R. Horton, the park, the lakes, developer paid for it all. That's how we get ahead of the game. And when you talk about places like Sunt and W.W. Clyde, the roads that are being fixed, the infrastructure with the water or the power, it's all being put in by the developer, whether it's through their impact fees or whether it's part of their development process. But we've worked out to where, and I think most cities do this, but when the developer comes in with a project like this, it's like, okay, you put that road in. All right, you put in those street lights. Okay, you put in that sidewalk and curbs. And they do. And so the short answer of it all is development pays for our infrastructure, and we still have a kitty. seriously, if things the city decides to do, we have money from those fees and from the taxes to also provide an infrastructure that we choose to do on our own.
Okay, thank you. All right, last question. This one was sent in. It's a little bit longer, but you'll get the gist of it. So, this particular person said, "I have been working in Apache Junction for over 30 years. What are we going to do to help people spend more money in Apache Junction? When you ask AI, seems like everybody's asking AI something these days, right?
I don't.
I don't either. Things to do in Apache Junction. There isn't really much to be said for things to do in Apache Junction, according to AI. If you ask AI, Mesa, Gilbert, and Phoenix, there are lots of things for the community to go see, do, and spend money with. We don't even have a bowling alley, movie theater, amusement park, or some kind of something, etc. We need something to attract people and more jobs for Apache Junction residents." What are your thoughts?
So, Apache Junction did have a bowling alley years ago. And, like a lot of bowling alleys, they went by the wayside. People found other things to entertain themselves with. Love to see another bowling alley come in. Love to see a movie theater. But developers don't want to take that risk and build that when almost half of our residents disappear all winter long. We have a huge snowbird community presence. And until we have more of a year-round residency here, it's hard to attract those different entities to come in and build something. So what do we do for entertainment? Gosh, have you looked at our Parks and Rec lately? I mean, there's always something going on with Parks and Rec every single month. They're rocking it, they're killing it. They've got so many different things, activities for kids, activities for adults. Sometimes you got to think outside the box and not worry about, if you want to go to a movie, it's just down the road. But if you want to do something unique, the construction expo that we had this last weekend, just phenomenal. Kids had a blast playing on that big heavy equipment. And somewhere down the road, one of those kids is going to be a heavy construction worker. It might be a crane operator. Who knows? Fantastic paying jobs. I think there's a balance there that people just don't really realize. They really have to look outside the box and understand that AI is only as smart as the people that put the information in there. AI must not know about Apache Junction, because I think we have a lot to offer.
We have the rodeo grounds, we have the rodeo every year, we have the Lost Dutchman Marathon. We have a lot of events. Our Parks and Recs, like Councilman Cross said, it's always got something going on. The library always has something on. But we also have something more unique. We have horse trails, we have off-road trails, we have hiking trails, we have bicycle trails. So we got a lot of outdoor activity that AI isn't going to say anything, about. And that is a lot of the things that people love to do. They love to hike, they like to bike, they like to horse ride, four-wheel drive. AJ is your place. I mean, you can take trails out and go up to the top of the supers if you want. So we're only minutes away from the lake, So there's a lot to do in Apache Junction if you just open your eyes and see what's here. So, and we're always working on stuff, and part of that is bringing more people in brings more things. I'm not a big box kind of person. I like outdoor activities, and I think that's what makes Apache Junction shine.
Well, I can tell you I'm pleased that we're not on AI's radar. That does make me happy. And again, it's like we've got Blues and Brews, veterans, the Christmas, Dutchman days. I mean, we got First Fridays out here. There's a ton of things to do, but these things that are to be done they're not. I'll go back to they kind of fall in line with our restaurants. It's not the national chain. Oh, I'm going to the bowling alley, right? No, these are activities that you come out, you do with your family, you come out, you do with your friends, and it's a lot of fun, and it doesn't have to be so. I think what I like the best about it is that the structure isn't there to an extent to where it's always got to be the same all the time, right? It's always different. Everything is always different out here. And that's one of the things I enjoy the most. So I don't know what AI is talking about, but I mean, there was a time where it's like, oh yeah, we need the bullying. It wouldn't be great, the movie theater. But the more time you just spend out here, you know, and you just get around the city and you start to get to know the people, you start to realize we have everything we need to have a great community. And I'm in no hurry to start soliciting AMC, you know. No.
Especially not.
It's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the flavor of our area. I mean, in Parks and Rec, there are so many things to do. I mean, if you go on the website and you can go on their newsletter, it will send to you. There's so many things between the library and Parks and Rec. I mean, we're a moving little city.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, we're sitting here at the base of some of the most spectacular
Right.
mountains in the world,
We have
right?
the supers.
And yeah, with, like you said, hiking trails and all sorts of outdoor activities. So, well, we are out of time, so probably ought to wrap it up. But thank you so much for having a conversation with us this evening, and again, for being willing to serve in public office. Would like to thank the Apache Junction Area Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event and the presenting sponsor, SRP, and also to Central Arizona College for the use of their room and for filming tonight's event. So remember, you can go onto the website, you can see a recording of this event. Please send it to your friends, neighbors, relatives, whoever lives in the area. Please send it out. Would like them to see it. The primary is on July 21st. And people need to go out and vote, and they need to vote the whole ballot. They need to vote for all the races and make sure that we support our hometown candidates in that race. And before I close real quick, I would be remiss if I didn't wish Mary Ann a happy birthday today.
I do have a question before we wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
Is this a scheduled time room? 7:05 you're out? If that's the case, anybody who has any questions, I will be outside on the front porch. Seriously.
Right
We'll all be
out
out
the
there.
door. We just got the nod. Right outdoor in the common area, we can stay as long as we want, and
I'll be happy to stick around.
answer questions and visit. Yeah. So, okay, very good. Thank you for coming tonight. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it.